This is Jeremy Duran, and this is No Holds Podcast. We're striving to have real and raw conversations with real and raw responses. No holding back on what you feel or believe. This isn't your ordinary Christian podcast. We are unscripted and unedited, a conversation with questions that are not commonly asked or talked about in the local church. All right. What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy with No Holds, and I am here with Peyton Golston. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Come on, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I know who you are, but everybody out there probably doesn't know. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm Peyton Goldston, as you said. I am 31 years old. I'm a minister at Living Faith Christian Center here in Tucson, Arizona. I'm part of the praise and worship team, and I wear a lot of different hats. I've been involved in youth ministry. I've been involved with the midweek Bible studies. I've been involved with a recovery program called Breaking Free at our church. So I wear a lot of different hats at our church. Also, I'm a recording artist, and it's a little tour of my studio
Heck
here
yeah.
at home. I'm also a podcast host. I do my own podcast called the Refocus Podcast. That is out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, YouTube. And so that's just like everyday stuff that, just something to get you started for your day. I was always a big fan of getting in the presence of God, getting your word in, getting prayer in at the beginning of your day. So to get you refocused on Him. So that's where the concept of the Refocus podcast came from. And also, husband, I'm married now going on 3 years. It'll be 3 years Friday, the 13th. I celebrate 3 years with my wife, Erica.
Awesome.
God's just been good, man. Just being just an ordinary man, just being used by an extraordinary God is what I say.
Heck yeah, bro. That's awesome, man. I know I met you. It's been about what 2, 3 years ago, I guess, at Camp Awakening. I think that's where.
Yeah, I think even longer than that, actually, because I think it was 2015 that was our
Wait,
first
yes,
year.
yeah, you are
Yeah,
right because it was both. It was our first time at Camp Awakening, and
right.
we were on the Brown team. That's right, man. That's right. Heck yeah, bro. Hey, well, I appreciate you being on here, man. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I know with my last podcast, I had Pastor Mike kind of give detail on and a testimony, just about his life. But with this one, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna talk about sex today. It just churches these days don't really talk about it, man. And
Right.
um, so what is your opinion on it? Why do you think that? Why do you think that is?
Well, we've had conversations about this before. I take it as a standpoint of people don't know necessarily how to talk about it. There's kind of this mentality of like the only thing you need to talk about with sex is that it's for marriage, marriage, marriage. You don't do nothing of the sort until marriage, and then it's like, all right, well, be fruitful and multiply,
Yeah.
and it's like, so it's like either make babies or marriage, and that's it,
Oh
and
yeah.
and so I really see that we don't understand God's true intention for sex in the confines of marriage, understanding that that is the gift that He gave married couples. That was the gift that He gave Adam and Eve as the first married couple. Say,
Right.
hey, this is what you can enjoy your life together doing.
Oh
This is
yeah.
this bonding to make you one. This is this special experience you guys can have for the rest of your lives, or in this case, all eternity before a fall. Um, but that was just something really special, a special bonding experience between a husband and his wife or spouses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. You like pretty much hit right on and answered like a lot of other questions that I was gonna ask you. I mean, dude, that's yeah. I agree, man. I agree with you on that one. Um, dude, at what age did you have your sex talk?
So I never really had a sex talk, to be honest. I found out about sex through pornography.
Mm.
Finding old videos that my mom had. A friend of mine who was a little bit older. There was an older gentleman in the little complex that we lived in, and his grandchildren were friends of ours. So him knowing us, he started giving us pornography.
Mm.
And so that's how we ended up finding out about what sex was, or a version of it, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And then just with conversations with friends, and, just inappropriate experiences, that's how I ended up finding about sex. But my mom never really talked about it. She
Yeah.
just said, wait till you're married, or and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that, bro. I mean, I don't remember when the first time I actually saw porn, but you would always have your friends talk about, hey, you need to watch this. You need to watch this video. Come to the house. Come watch this video. And then even just by the way they talk, you're like, man, okay, So I understand, where you're coming from on that too. But even after I had watched all that, and even after I had, my first experience with sex, um, my mom didn't ever know about it. She always thought I was this good son, which
Yeah,
I always tried to be. But there are, of course, with that, I'm not going to talk to my mom about porn or anything.
right.
It's just kind of hard to talk to, I guess, a mom about it. My dad passed away when I was 9, so I really didn't have anybody to talk to about it.
Right.
But when it did come down to it, my mom, she didn't know how to talk to me about it either. It was even hard for her, I think, even to use the word sex around me. I guess she just felt uncomfortable. So she sent me to my aunt, and my aunt pretty much is like, hey, let me talk to you about the birds and the bees, and I was like, man, I already know. And she just kind of like, what? She's like, I was like, yeah, I know already. And she's like, man, just go talk to your uncle. So I went and talked to my uncle, and his talk was pretty much make sure you strap up and have fun. And that was it. So
Wow.
that's what I ran with. When you're a teenager and somebody tells you, man, just make sure you strap up and have fun. Okay. Well, then
Right.
that's all I'm going to do. So, like, what age group do you feel like it's important to talk about sex?
I think you should start talking about sex around what are called the tween ages, the 10, 11, 12 ages, just being perfectly honest. That's where I started to learn about these things. That's where I started to be exposed to pornography, and I see it in a lot of kids. They start getting exposed to things about sex, to things about their own bodies, to even just attraction between different genders, like, boys liking girls, girls liking boys, and
Hmm.
even at this age, boys liking boys and girls liking girls.
Oh
Let's just
yeah,
be honest. So just when they start to find out about themselves in that way, they need a proper understanding, especially if the parents are in fact, Bible believing Christians. They need to start teaching their kids, what sex is, what sexuality is, what that, and how God sees that, and God's intention for that.
yes sir. Yeah. Do you even talking about like teenagers? You said you were also a youth leader. Do you feel like
Yes.
it's important to even talk about it in youth ministry?
Oh, absolutely. Because, just in all reality, not a, we just said it, our parents did not
Yeah.
really give us any kind of education, on
Oh
it.
yeah.
So outside of either school or pornography or friends, you're not really getting a biblical view of how sex is, or how God sees sex. So, it is kind of up to us as youth leaders to then kind of discuss that, and really talk to them about it, and help them understand that the youth group is a safe place
Oh
for
yes sir.
them to be able to ask those questions.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have you ever experienced maybe a student going up to you and asking you, hey, I need help with this? Have you ever had that kind of experience?
I've never necessarily like had an experience where somebody came up to me and said, hey, I'm struggling with this. Later on in my years, dealing with young adults, that occurred. But when it came with youth, the one of the situations that I encountered was with a young lady. And her mom told me that she was in a kind of a bad relationship with some boy, and he, pretty much just treated her dirty,
Mm.
just cheated on her, used her, and things of that sort. And so I sat down one day after youth group with her and started talking to her about it, and she just opened up to me that he tried to get her pregnant a few times, and I really just try to help her understand her value, and how God sees her, and that this, what her body is not something that you just give to anybody.
Yes, sir.
There has to be some value to that. She has to see the value that God has given her with her body, and understanding that it is for somebody who's going to commit to her, as a husband.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, yeah. Man, that's good. That's real good because I know even I think my wife, she's said it before, and I know I've heard it before too. It's like when you have sex, it's like you're giving them a piece of yourself. So then when you
right,
end up getting married, you're only giving them what's left. And I was
right.
just like, man, that's good. Wow, like I'm glad I have my wife who has wisdom. But but man, yeah, I think it's important, just like you said, to even with with the youth ministry. I know we have a daughter, and man, I think when she was in junior high, she came up to us and was just like, "Hey, I heard this and this and this at school. What does this mean?" Oh man, what the heck? Like, how do you? They're
Right.
already talking about this right now. Like, wow. Like, go talk to your mom. I'll talk to my son. I'll talk to my son when he gets older, and you can go talk to your mom. But I just even remember too, back in the day, it was more don't have sex because you don't want to get them pregnant. You don't want to get them pregnant, and we also just forget, man. There's other things like diseases that we can get,
Right.
and we forget about all that stuff. And I think
Right.
that's important to talk about too. It's like, man, it's more than just, hey, having babies. It's a, okay, are you gonna keep the baby? Are you gonna have an abortion? You can get a disease. I mean, it's, dude, it can go on.
Right.
But man, now going back to, I guess, to adults. I heard a podcast the other day. It was on. I don't know if you've heard about the Breakfast Club. It's
Yeah.
a talk show from New York. Um, One of the guys asked if it was okay to masturbate, and the reason why he asked was because he goes out on businesses, like on business trips, so he doesn't always take his wife. So
Right.
he asked, like, is it okay to masturbate while I'm thinking about my wife? Like, what do you think about that?
So let's kind of take for a second, let's kind of imagine that we can separate, masturbation, pornography, and sexual morality. We can just separate those three. Just let's just leave masturbation as just the act of it, the physical act of masturbating.
Mm-hmm.
In itself, I believe that that's how your body normally functions. So, in itself, the physical act is not bad.
Yeah.
That's how your body would naturally function. That's how, the same stimulation that you are doing to yourself would be the same similar stimulation when you are having sex with your spouse. So to me, that's not wrong. Um, in the parameters of marriage, I don't see it as being wrong either, as
Mm.
long as spouses agree.
Okay.
Because I truly believe that the word says the marriage bed is undefiled. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you two agree on it, go for it. You know, my where I have a concern is you see somebody, you know, because it's Charlemagne, you know, he sees somebody out there, he sees a model, he sees somebody who's attractive. Is he really thinking about his wife, or does he end up thinking about somebody else?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, that to me, the mind is a powerful thing, and the imagination can run wild if you let it. So
Hmm.
to me, I'm like, to keep somebody from doing that, or to keep even myself from doing that, I would just stay away from it. Period. And
Yeah.
I heard this in a podcast with a couple of other Christian rappers out of New York, and he explained it like this with his wife. His wife said, "You like chocolate cake, right? I'm going to give you so much chocolate cake that you're not going to want to see another piece of chocolate cake until you come back." And it really resonated with me because I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, take care of your spouse if you know they're traveling. Take care of your spouse if you know that they're a traveling minister, an artist, a speaker, something like that. Take care of your spouse so that way they don't have to resort to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, but yeah, I still leave it. I still it's a leaving up in the air depending on how you and your spouse agree to it. For me and my household, I would say, man, I want my wife to take care of me before I go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, dude, that's good, man. I like that. That's good. Even okay, like even with let's say, people like to spice up their marriage. What if they, let's say, toys or oral sex? I guess would same views on that also.
Yeah, same views on that also. And we had a previous conversation on this, so let's clear the air. When we mean toys, we mean the confines of both the spouses, not adding anybody else, not adding anything else.
There you go. There you go.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
so we want to make sure that people understand that this is between the spouses. So yes, you know, to me, I'm like, it's the same thing. If both spouses agree, hey, there are things that you need to do to spice up the marriage. To me, I know some people who role play. It's the same thing.
Mm.
There's just things that you do to spice up the marriage to make things exciting.
Yeah.
It's okay as long as both partners in the marriage agree.
Oh yeah. No, man, that's good, man. I appreciate your input, bro. That's pretty much all we have time for today, man. But I appreciate you coming on here, man.
Yeah,
It's been
absolutely.
fun. Hey, you have social media, right?
Yeah, I do. So social media, the best way to reach at me is on Instagram. It's at Peyton Refocus. Feel free, I'll always check my Instagram there. Same thing on Twitter, Peyton Refocus. On YouTube, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/refocus. And then you can find the Refocus podcast on iTunes, Google, and on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/refocus podcast.
Awesome, bro. Heck yeah, man. Hey, y'all go ahead and y'all do that. Y'all go follow Peyton. And Peyton, hey, bro. Good seeing you again, man. I know we couldn't do
Yeah,
it in
you too.
person, man, but one day we will, though, for sure.
For
All
sure,
right, man.
man.
Well, it's nice talking to you, man. We'll holla at you.
All right, peace.
Peace.